This is Talking Hardcore, the podcast for people who love hardcore history.
You study history because it allows us to understand the present and prepare for the future.
I'm not trolling.
And I love it.
I'm
I'm here
just
for
pointing out where they're wrong.
The Talking Hardcore podcast is presented by Ace Industrial Solutions. Are you in need of skilled trade professionals for your next project? Look no further. Specializing in commercial and industrial buildouts, floor coatings and coverings, high-speed concrete polish, floor cleaning, shot blasting, painting, energy efficiency, and pallet racking. With a proven track record of excellence, they have become the industry leader. To find out more, please check the link in the description.
Welcome to Hardcore History's Trivia. What is it? No, what?
Talking Hardcore History
Stop.
Trivia. We're not Hardcore History.
Welcome
Wait a
to
second.
Talk.
Cut.
No,
Edit this out.
No.
Go.
welcome to Talking Hardcore History's Trivia. This is stop it.
I didn't say anything.
You shook your head.
Just let me do the intro. You do it shitty.
All right, fuck it. Go ahead. You're such a prick. I hope you lose.
I'm gonna lose.
You might not.
This is Talking Hardcore History Trivia, episode 3, with Scott
Yep.
and George. Scott's hosting today. Take it away.
All right. This is going to be. I have 14 questions plus a bonus.
Tell them the topic.
Oh, this is based on Ghosts of the Ostfront parts 3 and 4.
So if you want to play along and you haven't listened to those episodes, pause this, go listen to those episodes. If you don't have access to them, there's a link in the description. You can buy them from Dan Carlin's website.
Yeah. All right. You ready, guys? You guys ready for question
Give
one?
us the rules.
What do you mean the rules?
Give us the rules.
There are no rules.
There's rules.
This is Jeopardy rules.
So we got to answer in the form of a question?
No. Your mom's a question, Trebek.
Okay. So
Anyway.
trivia, right?
Trivia. 1 point per person per correct answer. The tiebreaker will be at the end in the bonus question
If there's a tie.
if there's a tie. I had 20 questions. I narrowed it down to 14. So we get 14 plus a bonus today, boys.
Okay.
That's a lot.
I know. Well, some of them are pretty easy, some quick, easy. It should be good.
That's what she said.
Yeah. All right.
Fire away.
All right. Question number 1. What was the difference in leadership between Adolf Hitler and Joseph Stalin as Operation Barbarossa? God, I screwed it up.
Didn't you write it down?
I did, but
Okay, read a different one. Skip that one.
No,
No,
that
that's a
was
good one. That's a good one. I want to answer that.
Okay. Here's the question I wrote down. What was the leadership difference as World War II went on, militarily speaking, between Hitler and Joseph Stalin?
I'm ready.
You can't ask open-ended questions like this.
That's
It's not
pretty.
open-ended, but-
Yeah, that's like
It's pretty
yeah.
specific.
It's very not specific.
It's 100%
I guarantee
specific.
there's like a billion things I could write for this.
There's one glaring...
They dressed differently. They ate different
No,
food.
no.
They
Well,
started
Hitler
hanging.
spoke
They started
German.
hanging out with different people. They just weren't
Hitler
the
was
same
on
anymore.
meth.
Their closest homies were like, "Dude, you changed, bro." Is that a correct answer? Does that qualify?
I'm going to drink now since you guys are
I
being
know
a
exactly what you're looking for, though, and I have
too,
it. I have it
but
written
This
down.
is what I
yeah.
told you. Don't do open-ended questions. I got it.
All right,
Let me
all right.
write it down. Hold on.
Oh.
It takes a while to write a whole sentence. I didn't know we were doing essays.
This is... Do-do.
Okay. Matt,
You want me to
hold
show
up your
mine?
answer. You ready?
Yeah.
I had to write this whole novel down.
I know. I just put Hitler took more control. Stalin stepped back.
That's what I put. I said Hitler took
All
more
right,
control.
cool.
Stalin gave up more strategic control.
All right. 1 point for each of you.
All right. Well, are you scoring this?
Yeah.
Well, are you making a note?
I got this.
I'll make a note.
That-
I don't trust you.
I got this. I'll type it in. Look.
Don't worry about it. I'm going to do a little thing here. Matt. 1.
You're going to fuck that up.
Sure. Yeah, probably. 2. Okay. Or wait, 1.
All right.
I gave myself an extra point already.
Look at this guy. George has control issues.
I really don't.
He is 100% Adolf
I
Hitler.
think it's not control, it's quality issues.
I don't have, this isn't quality. This isn't a problem with quality.
Go ahead.
Zing.
All right, question 2, boys. Why did the Germans push towards the south of Russia in 1942 in Operation Blue?
Got it. You already said the answer to a question I thought you were going to ask, so I guess that's not going to be a question now.
What?
He was thinking he knew you were a question.
Oh, wrong.
Okay. Read it again. You got to always read it twice so the people playing at home.
Okay. Why did the Germans push towards the south of Russia in 1942 in Operation Blue?
All right,
Ready?
Matt.
Oil.
Oil. Good job, guys. We're tied up.
So Matt said oil, and George also said oil.
Of course. Do I have to?
For
you want
the
me to
people
repeat
listening.
That? Oh. All right.
Yeah, I've noticed that when I've listened back because I didn't do that enough.
Oh.
So that's why I'm trying to make it so that if you're only listening, you can follow along as well.
Gotcha. All right. Question 3. What 2 military units of note did Russian women fight in during World War II? Once again, what 2 military units of note did Russian women fight in during World War II?
So
Got
you
it.
mean what 2 units did Dan mention?
Correct. What specific units?
Right.
Don't worry
Ready.
about
Because there was
spelling.
probably more, but that's the 2 he mentioned.
Correct.
The one of them was a Russian word.
German.
No, because it was the Russian soldiers fighting women, not Germans.
Ready?
Hold on. I'm trying to figure out how to...
You can put it in English.
He actually mentioned 3 in the episode.
Ooh,
I forget the
Smackdown.
exact name of them, but
Was there a third one?
yeah.
Well, let's
yeah.
get through this one, and then you can tell me the third one, because I don't remember
Sure,
the third
sure.
one.
Sure.
All right. This is going to be my first wrong answer. Go ahead, Matt.
Sniper Girls and the Night Witches.
There you go.
I got Sniper Girls, and then I wrote Bratislava because that sounded Russian.
Knock Texan is what you were thinking of.
Yeah. So the third one
Yeah,
was
you
the
said spelling doesn't matter. That's what I was going to say.
Bratislava.
the third one was like the Raider chicks or something. They were the ones who would hide in the and the
Oh, the
hay
hay
bales
bales.
and
Yep.
shoot you from behind. Yeah.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Really gave the Germans a hard time.
Typical women.
Respect your Russian grandmother. Like you never know.
Shooting you in the back.
You don't know what her job
now-
was during World War II.
I mean, now those are mostly gone, though.
So does that count as
Like, when did
full
this episode-
point for?
Yeah, you got the point. I got
All right.
because that was all or nothing, right?
Yep.
So it's 3-2. But most of those Russian grandmas now are dead. Like, when did that episode air?
Unfortunately, right?
Was that like 2010?
Yeah, it was like 11 or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something
So
like that,
I mean,
yeah.
if you think about it now,
That's why
like,
we
look
need
at
to
how old your
preserve
mother-in-law
these.
is, and that was her dad that was in it.
Yeah.
That's why we need to preserve these stories in history, folks.
Exactly.
Oh, for sure. That's why we got to have my mother-in-law on the podcast before she leaves. December 6th, she's leaving. So anyway,
We'll get her on here.
all right. Question number 4.
Okay.
Name the 3 militaristic groups that caused casualties to Russian citizenry. Civilians.
Jesus. The 3 militaristic groups that caused casualties to Russian civilians.
Keep it general.
Yeah. See,
Were they Russian militaristic groups or were they German militaristic groups?
general, Matt. You're thinking
Gotcha,
too
okay,
specific.
All right.
It's like good guys, bad guys, and more bad guys.
Yeah.
That's all he's looking for.
It's bad guys, and more bad guys.
Honestly, you could say what 3 groups caused this to all of the people. They did German citizens, German soldiers, Russian citizens, Russian soldiers. All 3 of them. Read it again.
Name the 3 militaristic groups that caused death to Russian citizenry.
Death to tyrants.
Casualties.
Et
death.
tu, Brutus?
Brute.
No, I didn't want to say it like a douche.
Okay.
Et tu, Brute.
That doesn't sound douchey. Sounds good.
Thanks.
That's historically accurate.
So I would have been pretty good at stabbing tyrants.
In the back. You have to stab him in the back.
Well, they stabbed him all over the place.
Yeah, but he
Caesar
got-
got stabbed like 30-some times.
I think he got stabbed in the back first.
Matt, how many times did they stab Caesar?
23.
Pretty good. It's
So you
funny.
had the numbers
what's great
backwards?
is he could have easily just been making that up, and just because he
No.
sounded confident, we both just say, yep. Because I believe he's right, but he also said it confidently, so I'm just assuming he's right.
All right, Matt, what do you got, buddy?
Wait, hold up
so
your
I-
answers.
Yeah, I just put partisans and then the SD, which was the special branch of the Germans that came along behind the frontline soldiers and really rounded up, people for the Holocaust and stuff.
He was
This is
looking
a very
for partisans, Germans, and Russians, weren't you?
Yep.
what?
Yeah, well,
That-
because
that's such an insane.
wait a minute. This literally, guys, hold on. Before George starts dying
Who
here.
hurt people in World War II? Russians and Germans. Good job. That's it.
I feel like
so
Matt
weird.
finds the question to be poorly structured.
It's
Matt,
exactly the opposite of what I thought these questions were. I was
Matt.
writing down dates and times.
See,
and
that's George.
He
George
said
was
vague.
strengths and stuff.
He said vague.
general. I meant general.
All right.
general.
That's what I'm
All
saying.
right,
He said, hey, Matt, I knew it was a shitty question when I wrote the answer. I knew what
All
he was
right.
looking for.
Well, we're even
'Cause you're
now.
right.
So.
That is a bananas question way to ask that. Like, who
right,
killed
dude.
people?
Oh, well,
That's okay.
Wait a
We'll
minute.
stop. We don't want to make fun of you too much. It
No.
gets mean. People
Kiss
will
my
start
ass.
defending you.
And Ghosts of the Ostfront Part 3, he literally says the three groups that were
Okay.
killing Russian citizenry,
Right.
Anyway.
Right.
All
But
right.
I bet you there were some citizens that killed other people that weren't partisans too. So
There
really,
was a
you
lot
did
of
4
partisan
groups.
infighting. Yeah.
Sure, but I mean, like
Yeah.
even non-partisan people, just regular murders.
These
You
came
didn't count regular murders.
directly from
Right
the
on, man.
podcast.
I
So,
know.
and
I
there is-
appreciate the effort.
All
Yep.
right. Question
You
number
just thought
5.
my job was easy, man.
This
That's all
is
I'm
an
saying.
easy job. What was Order 227?
Boom! I knew you were going to ask this one. You know what's funny is Dan said this one in episode 2 as well.
And you
And I
included
believe-
it as a question in
And I
our
used
previous
it as a
trivia episode.
question.
Yeah.
227?
Yeah,
Yeah. And then I heard it again
you
here,
used
and I'm like,
Order
wait a minute.
99.
yeah. No, I did 2 different orders. If you go back and look
Oh,
at my
I thought you
questions,
did order-
and you're right, Matt. I was like, wait a minute. I
Yeah.
checked my phone and I go, am I listening to the same? Did
Yeah.
I click the wrong episode?
Totally.
Like maybe
I
I
did the
started
same thing.
2 instead of 3.
Yeah.
But I didn't. He just said it like he
repeated
said it.
himself.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
But
such a
read the
huge
question
deal
again.
that Dan, yeah.
Yeah. But
What was Order 227?
yeah.
You ready?
What colloquially a term, Matt? What
Not
is your
one
answer?
step back. Not one
Yeah,
step back.
No step back.
Yep. The actual answer from the podcast was the famous not one step backward, or you are to be killed if you didn't fight the enemy. That came.
I know, but buddy, you're supposed to.
No, that's a win.
I know. I'm marking that as a score. Matt 4, George 4. We're
See?
tied up. You know what? Maybe I might have a little bit of advantage here because I've known you so long.
No.
I feel like this might be an advantage to George.
Well, then I shouldn't have took the other ones out.
Maybe.
All right. What was Hitler's greatest dream with the southern prong attack into Russia and Rommel's forces in Africa?
I mean, I kind of have an answer for this. You kind of answered your own question, though. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, okay, I know how to answer it in a very specific way. So, all right, let me write it a little more legibly here.
What was Hitler's greatest dream with the southern prong attack into Russia and Rommel's forces in Africa?
Okay, I think I'll get by with this answer.
Oh my God, George, it's not that long.
Well, dude, you wrote a really vague question.
Okay.
Think about it. Like the way you word that is not how you. Never mind. We'll talk offline.
We don't need to talk.
You're not
offline.
hosting anymore.
You don't have that power.
I have the power. Anyway,
I'm ready.
no, I'm just writing a little more, so there's no way he tries to jip me out of
I'm
the
not
point.
going to jip you out of the point.
All right.
All right.
Matt, I have world's biggest pincer movement. The African forces meet up with the Russian fighters, the ones fighting the Russians.
Yeah, I just wrote pincher, which is what that is. Yeah. So.
There you go.
Yeah, I didn't trust Scott to not try to screw me.
Well, I'm not even going to ask question number 7.
That's the kind of war planning you do when you're slowly going insane and you're looking at a map surrounded by much more qualified people, and you're just like pointing and be like, now we're going to have this army meet that army, and we're just going to like take over this whole second. And they're like, okay, dude, I'm responsible for the fuel supply for these people. Like, do you have any ideas how we're going to handle that part of it?
This is when you're tripping balls on meth. You're near the end of your strung out meth, trip, and you've never really been in charge of any kind of large army before. Because that sounds like something I would be like, hey, what if we could do this?
Right.
And then all the people that like actually know about shit, like, okay, dumbass. All right, scoring update.
It's tied up 5-5.
Yeah,
cool.
Don't worry, I'm keeping score.
I don't need you to keep score. All right.
You sensing the tension here, Matt?
Oh, that's great.
You feeling the tension?
Well, George
I was concerned going up against you, George. But now I'm not because the questions are a deciding factor.
Oh,
wait a minute.
George is like, I'm going to leave.
I think that's a fucking shot at you, Scott. He goes, I was concerned against going up against you, George. He's like, I already kicked the shit out of Scott twice. But, George, I was worried.
All right, well, we're going to skip question 7.
Just keep reading. You're on question 6.
All right, fine.
Or, whatever.
Question 7. Finish the quote.
Okay, but you're right. Okay, go ahead.
When a subordinate tries to give General Paulus an appraisal of the military situation while encircled, he says, dead men are what?
Got it. Not got it. That's a good one.
How precise do we need to be here?
Not that precise. Finish the quote.
That's a good one, Scott.
I think this is a good question. Keep going.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Read it again.
Finish the quote. When a subordinate tries to give General Paulus an appraisal of the military situation while encircled, he says, dead men are...
All right, Matt, you ready?
Yep.
Scott? Okay, Matt, read yours off. Or I'll read mine off. You just hit your vape.
Not
longer concerned with military strategy.
Military history. Yeah. Military history.
There you go.
Yeah.
Are you giving it to both of us?
I'll give both you guys that one.
It's actually military history because he was seeing himself as like already defeated at that point. But I think you had I think you had the first part of it more correct, and then I believe the history part of it.
Right. I like it, Matt. You're a generous guy.
Alrighty. We're doing pretty good here.
No, that was a good question. That was your best one so far.
All right, let's see how you guys do with this one. Question number 8. The might of Germany and Russia were assembled at Kursk. The Germans having 37 divisions, 2,500 tanks, 10,000 guns, and 1,800 aircraft. The Soviet Union squared up with even more resources. What ratio was the minimum standard the attacker was supposed to have against the defender?
Got it, I think.
Read it again, but just skip to the end part.
Yep. What ratio was the minimum standard the attacker was supposed to have against the defender?
Right. Okay, Matt, you ready?
Yep.
3-1.
5-1.
Matt, you got that one wrong, buddy. It's 3-1 is the minimum.
Oh, that's what I thought. Oh, the minimum. Okay.
Yep.
All right, cool. All right, right on.
Good job, George.
Well, because I was listening to that while I was raking leaves today.
Yeah.
Okay, so what he meant there is, in this case, the Russians had more than the Germans who were attacking at Kursk, and typically the attackers should have at least a 3-1 ratio because the
defenders have
such a strong advantage.
Yep.
And the Germans, what Dan said is the Germans thought that the technology and superior training and whatever would overcome that ratio.
When in fact, Kursk was an example of how much the Soviets had adapted to the blitzkrieg.
German tactics.
Yeah. And they'd set up like miles of tank traps and
Defense in depth.
force their tanks in mines and force their tanks into gun positions and stuff like that. And really, but I think he does say 5-1 in there somewhere. But yeah, you're right. You got it. That's cool.
Yeah, he says 3-1's the minimum. 5-1 or more is
gotcha. Okay. The minimum. Okay, you're right.
Okay, fire away.
All right. Question number 9. What was the Soviet strategy after Germany began retreating? I know. Dan actually says this.
You should skip this one.
No. Dan actually says this.
Okay.
He makes a good point of it for about 5 minutes.
Right, but I'm going to have to write a novel to answer this.
No, it's pretty easy. General terms, buddy. General terms. Basic.
Oh. I'm just gonna. Yeah, I can't believe I missed that 3-1 question, and if I fall behind on this one, I'm gonna start seriously. Seriously.
Come on, man.
Don't beat yourself up. There's 14 questions here, remember?
This is like I mean.
That's why I said this is like an essay.
All right.
No.
All right, I got it. Again, I've simplified. I'm still kicking myself over to the 3-1. I'm ready, though.
Hold on, I got to finish my novel.
Maybe it was my fault, Matt. I probably should have stressed minimum a little more.
Nah, yeah, you did say that, though, right? And I just have, I have Kursk in mind so much because I've been kind of like into that battle recently. And for that specific battle, like they needed, that much more of a ratio.
Right, and yet they were the ones that were outnumbered. Okay. Matt, I'm ready.
Yeah. All right.
Do you want to read the question one more time before we show our answers?
Sure. What was the Soviet strategy after Germany began retreating?
So, Matt, you want to go first?
Hug them. And that's a literal answer.
Yeah, I said they attack and push forward until they run out of steam, and then they rebuild up for the next attack, and then attack and push forward till they run out of steam.
Yeah, you hug them. You stay right on their tails the whole way, and you don't give them an ounce of breathing room.
Now, I'll give you both that point. Mm-hmm. What Dan said was they would amass resources and then attack by taking a series of jumps. But I think both of you're right. He did say hug them and like
yeah.
And then he also said exactly
that's what he literally does say hug them, yeah.
Yep.
But that's a good one. I mean, you could zoom out and say
that was a poorly worded question.
I was gonna say you could zoom out and say kill the German people.
Because exactly. That's why what I tried to do when I was doing this, Scott, and this is just friendly critiques because I've listened to a bunch of trivia podcasts, so it's like I had a little bit of a cheat on that. But I tried to make the questions so that they weren't open-ended. That's why there was a lot of dates and order numbers and shit in this one.
Well, that's why
it's tricky. And I know I like that you're trying to do different stuff. It's just when they're open-ended like that, then it gives it easier to come up with the answers.
Yeah, but go ahead. If you listen to both podcasts recently, you should know.
And what I said is true because I literally wrote down and what he said.
What Matt said,
and so did Matt. But it wasn't even the answer you were looking for, but we both had other answers that were right.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
All right.
Next question.
Question number 10. How long was Leningrad or St. Petersburg under siege?
Fuck. Paused it, and I backed it up and listened to it again because I was like, this will be a question. And then I don't fucking remember.
I got this one because I wrote down the date that it was liberated. And so,
what was that, Matt?
And knowing the invasion date kind of put me there. So
I had a try.
I had a different number in my head when he first said it, but then knowing the date that it was liberated, like it only adds up to one thing.
I will accept two answers here because Dan's number is a little off.
All right, I'm ready to go.
Hold on. Read the question again, though, Scotty.
How long was Leningrad or St. Petersburg under siege?
Okay. Go ahead, Matt.
3 years.
George?
Oh, you were
Liberated-
literally just looking for years?
Yeah.
He was liberated in January of 1944.
I didn't want to put years because I was looking at dates.
It was 2.5 years.
Yeah, so
Oh,
Matt
yes,
gets it for 3 years.
Neither of you get it.
Neither of us
No,
get
no,
it.
no, no. You got it 2.5 years.
Well, yeah, but was it 2 years and 180 days?
Well,
Yeah,
or was it?
hold on. The actual number.
So, Matt, I wrote down bend over, I'll show you.
the actual length of time was 2 years, 4 months, 2 weeks,
Okay.
and like 4 days. Or
That's
something.
what I wanted to put is like 2 years first, but it was 1941 to 1944. So,
See, and I was trying to think of days, and so I was going to write 500 and something because that
oh
I
Jesus!
thought it was like 500 and something.
He actually
Scott,
says
you're
2.5
killing
years.
me, man. You're killing me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
All right.
Matt. Sorry.
It's all
buddy.
good. It's all
All right,
good.
what
It's all
question are we
good.
on?
11.
Question 11.
Okay, you need to do a scoring update after 10 questions.
All right. So George is at 8 and Matt is at 7.
I'm never gonna forgive myself for that 3-1 answer. Like I gotta come
You're
up
going to
here.
get this
You will
one.
live in
All right.
infamy.
Now, this is all podcast questions, so here we go. Question 11. According to Max Hastings, who was the best Allied general of the war,
Oh,
bar
goddamn.
none?
Got it. Immediate. I know
Oh,
it.
there you go, Matt.
This
You've
is-
made
this
up
is-
the difference because
this is
it's
where I
some
even out.
Russian fuck.
I know it. I know how to spell
Why
it.
would you talk about country like this?
I
This is not
even
how
went.
we do
I
it.
even went back and like remembered who said it about him, just in case like you asked that instead of the name. Like
I
yeah,
literally
this is,
backed it up and listened to it again because I'm like, this would be one he asked.
yeah.
And then it's out my brain.
All right, you have to get. I believe this is his rank and his.
No, you didn't say that. Just the name. Trust me,
Okay.
Matt.
I'll
that's
write
fine.
his rank. I'll write his
He
rank.
was a general. That's all
no,
that matters.
no,
No?
he wasn't. He was not a general.
He was a field marshal. It doesn't matter. I wrote some Russian dude, and I feel like that's right. So
All right,
I should get the point.
Matt,
Go ahead and read it again.
Matt,
just
Matt, yeah,
read it.
read the question again.
according to Max Hastings, who was the best Allied general of the war, bar none?
Russian
Marshall-
dude.
Marshal Zhukov.
There you go.
Yeah,
Bam.
Zhukov.
Ding,
That's
ding,
right.
ding, ding. Now we are
Tied it up.
8 all.
Sounded like you said Adolf for a second.
What are you talking about?
You said 8 all. It sounded like you said Adolf
Oh, no.
for a
8 all.
second. So 8-8 with 3 questions left.
And a bonus.
Bonus.
My
All right,
cat.
fire away.
All right.
All right. Question number 12. What did Stalin encourage his troops to record German atrocity? Wait, I worded that terribly. What did Stalin encourage his troops to record German atrocities? Oh, Jesus, this was
Okay,
terrible.
pause it. The answer. Just skip this one. Go to the next one.
No,
All
that's
right,
a good
bye.
one. No, I know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I do too.
Just
but-
read it.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm already
Take
writing
your
the
time.
answer.
Yeah, take your time. Reword the question while we write the answers.
Because this is something that really stood out to me in this
Mm-hmm.
in these episodes originally. I feel it's very important. I think it's incredible for the psychology of the soldiers at the time, and I think it should be discussed. So this is a great one to bring up.
Joseph Stalin encouraged his troops to record German atrocities. What were these called?
I wrote this down specifically in my notes, and I'm so happy you asked me.
Well, that's not the question I thought you were trying to ask.
Do you want me to ask it one more time?
No. Yeah, say it again.
Stalin encouraged his troops to record German atrocities. What were these called?
Like a Russian word for it?
Nope, it's English.
Atrocities?
Nope. George's record's looking a little shaky here, Matt.
Well,
You got him on the ropes, buddy.
Whenever you're ready, I'm ready.
I'm not.
Okay, hold on. Really quick, I'm going to be right back. My alarm is going off telling me to not be late for this podcast, which I was because I set my alarm
You
incorrectly.
weren't
I'll be right
late.
back.
Okay.
You weren't late. All right. Well, now that Matt's gone, why don't you tell me the answer?
I'm not going to tell you the answer.
Good answer. I was testing you just to make sure you were being honest.
It's not going to happen.
Good. I didn't want you to give me the answer.
Excuse me.
He tried to
Okay.
give me the answer, Matt, and I told him no.
Whoa, ready to rock and roll. You ready?
Yeah.
I really
Okay.
I really
All right. I'm gonna let me come up with an answer real quick. Yeah, fuck it. Go ahead. I don't have an answer.
Matt?
Ledgers of Revenge.
Boom.
Nice.
Which
George
is
had-
insane to think about.
I have nothing. Because I wrote down what I thought you were asking with your poorly worded question the first time, but you couldn't get through it. I wrote down he was having them keep track so he could commit the same atrocities back on the Germans. But I didn't remember he called it Ledgers of Atrocity. That's good.
Ledgers of Revenge.
Ledgers
Yeah.
of Revenge.
All right, Matt, you're taking the lead, 9-8. What were you going to say?
Yeah, please.
No, just I think imagine being a frontline soldier
Shit.
and your officer is saying like, I want you to keep a personal journal detailing how when we get to the lands where these people live, the atrocities you will commit upon them in revenge for the atrocities that have been committed upon you. I want you to write this down every night. I want you to think about it. I want it to fester in your brain. I want you to get pissed. I want you to be pissed all day long. I want to heat you up. And when we get there, just go down the list, buddy. Pull it out of your back pocket. There's a farm. There's a family. What's the first thing on my list? Oh, I'm going to nail this woman to a bar. Just come on, man. That is
it's messed
insane warfare. Insane warfare.
Well, I mean, seems like something Genghis would have done.
That he quotes that. Dan says that like straight out of Genghis Khan. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing too, and right. Just think about what you said too, like the frontline soldiers too. But it wasn't just them, right? It was also the ones that were prisoners that were released or that were set free, prisoners of war. That the Germans were holding that got set free, and then those guys got let loose to run amok.
Yeah, there's two examples. We'll just break it down really quick. Like, so in the episode, Dan talks about the atrocities committed by the Russians, and he said he's giving examples, but he does like provide a counter to it, and he says, okay, there's a story where these frontline soldiers showed up, and they were acting. They said, look, we are gonna treat you well, but the people coming behind us are animals. Okay, so everybody needs, yeah, and on the German side, they were desperate for troops, so they were releasing people from prisons. And there was this one, I forget his name, is some insane monster. He led a group of like the SS or the SD, and they were going around. Like, if you ever seen that movie Come and See, it's about Belarusian partisans. It's an amazing film. Oh my God, you got to watch that immediately. And like the atrocity that happens at the end of that movie was probably committed by like his unit or someone similar to it.
Wow.
So.
What was I forgot, it was with Daniel Craig.
Yeah,
and,
where he's a partisan.
Resistance or something like that, I think it's called.
That
That's
was
a good
a good
movie.
one.
That was a good one,
True story-ish, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, as much as any of those.
Well, I'm sure
Okay.
there's a bunch of people
We have
hiding in
2
woods.
questions left.
2 questions left plus the bonus.
But right now, Matt is ahead 9-8.
9-8.
Just retook the lead.
All right, question 13. Who was Adolf Hitler's wife when he committed suicide?
Oh, come on.
Are you
Come on.
serious?
Come on. You asked an easy question.
Well, I can't all be difficult.
Blondie. It was Blondie, his dog. That was his real secret
His
true
bitch.
love. His real
bitch.
secret true love, yeah.
Literally his bitch, Matt. I like it.
I mean, it's not like the guy had a lot of females in his life, so there's really only one answer to this.
Yeah, wasn't
but-
he like in love with his cousin for a while?
Yeah.
So
Or
was
his
Einstein
niece.
there?
His niece, actually.
Oh,
yeah.
niece. Yeah. Okay, read the question one more time.
Who was Adolf Hitler's wife when he committed suicide?
Ava Braun.
If
Ava
Matt
Braun.
was ahead more, I would have 100% wrote your mom. But it was too close. I couldn't risk getting the question wrong.
Well, this next one's going to be a little
Hold on, let me update the score. 10-9, and here it is for all of them. For me to have a chance, Matt needs to get this wrong, and I need to get it right. So this better not be shitty.
Okay.
It's going to be shitty.
What do some historians say the last act of World War II was? Straight from the podcast. Episode 4, probably 10, 15 minutes from the end. What do some historians say was the last act of World War II?
You got me. It's a good one. Oh, God.
Great question.
Yeah.
just when I thought you wouldn't come back, you totally redeem
Well,
yourself.
thank you very much. There's 6 more questions. I edited out.
And that's probably
Wow.
a good way to get to the good.
I mean,
That's not a bad way to do it. See,
Yeah.
what I did is I just got the questions and then I worked on them and honed them. I didn't write a bunch of them and then whittle them down, but that works too.
I wrote 20. I came up with 20 of things that would stuck out in my mind that I thought, would be good.
All right, Matt, you want to read the question one more time?
Yeah, go ahead.
What do some historians say the last act of World War II? Or was the last act of World War II?
I just put burying the dead.
Berlin Wall coming down.
There you go, George.
Oh
tied
my
it up.
God, that's great. Good job. Oh, of course it was. God, that's so
Dude,
great.
it came to me after
That's so
I was already
great.
writing some other bullshit because
Yeah,
I couldn't think
right
of
on.
it.
Well done. Well done.
I don't think a thing come through there.
I hear it. Yeah, that's wonderful.
Oh, you do hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. The applause button worked. Hey, how'd you remember which one was the applause?
I just looked at it. It says applause.
Oh, sweet. You hit it on the touchscreen.
Yeah.
We got a new soundboard. We're kind of fancy now. We have a sponsor. We're bougie. All right, 10-10. Give the scoring update.
Yep. The score is 10-10. Both contestants have gotten 4 questions wrong, and we're going into the bonus round.
Well, we need a tiebreaker.
Yep, and here it is.
Matt, good luck.
All right, thank you,
This
you
is-
too, man.
This is specifically about Dan Carlin. Dan Carlin asked a teacher what the biggest impediment was to understanding the past. What was his professor's response?
Won't be word for word, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's okay.
Shitty tiebreaker.
Oh, I thought this was a difficult one.
It's not even a hard question, but the point is with the tiebreaker is it needs to be, like I told you on the phone and you ignored me completely.
Yep.
It's a good idea to have a tiebreaker be a numerical question so that it's less likely we'll have the same answer because we both got this right.
I have 6 more questions.
Read the question again. Yeah, we'll keep going.
Dan Carlin asked a teacher what the biggest impediment was to understanding the past.
But I think he actually asked what the biggest impediment was to understanding how people looked at in the past.
This is verbatim.
Okay.
Yeah, they
What-
know how
what-
Matt,
they
you
know how it
their
turned
future?
out. They know how it turned out. Yeah.
Yeah,
There you
know
go.
their future.
All right, let's go into extra overtime.
Extra overtime.
I'm scared now.
I like it.
We are now in extra innings.
There you go. I like it.
Or we could end it as a tie.
Nope.
No, let's
Gentlemen's
just keep
agreement
going.
that we all win, Matt and I win, and Scott loses.
Scott always
We'll
loses.
add this to the chat. Scott is 0 for 3, and George is 1 for 1, and Matt is 3 for 3. Now,
All right.
here we go. Next question.
Here's something.
Now, let's remember that these questions are not going to be as polished because you were actually trying to cut them out, and you
Yep.
decided to use them.
All right, here's the next one. For all the beans here, for the win. What day did Hitler call off the offensive of Kursk?
Oh.
You guys want for
Yeah, why don't you make it a multiple choice?
all right, I'll make a multiple choice. July 31st, August 2nd, June 15th, July 13th.
Okay, read it again.
What day did Hitler call off the offensive of Kursk? July 31st, July 13th, August 2nd, or June 15th?
I'm ready to go.
Okay, wait a second. Yeah, I said July 13th.
Matt?
July 13th.
Damn, we both got it right.
Yeah, because it
Second
started on
bet.
July. It started on July 4th, so and it was very. Yeah, he said like battles that happened over 5 days. That's interesting. I didn't catch that one in the narrative. So we keeping going now.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, here's an easy one.
This is a real juggernaut battle here, right?
That's great.
What piece of furniture saved Adolf Hitler's life during an attempted bombing assassination?
Got it. There's a great. I think the movie Valkyrie actually does a good job of.
Yeah, Tom Cruise was good in it.
I mean, of representing the actual
Yeah.
circumstances.
Okay, read the question one more time for the viewers.
Where was that? What piece of furniture saved Adolf Hitler's life during attempted bombing assassination?
Matt.
Table.
Table.
Okay, did good. All right, here's a two-parter. That's it. This is the
last one.
Two-parter.
All right.
There's no way you guys are going to get this. How many people?
Wait a minute. Pause. Say it's two-parter. If I get 0 parts right, if Matt gets 1 part right, he wins.
Correct.
And if I get 2 parts right and Matt gets 1 part right, I win.
There you go.
Okay.
How many people were dying per day in Leningrad, and from what?
No, you can't ask this one.
Oh, that's right.
You
Yeah. No, sorry.
Matt, we're going to disqualify this question because he read it to me before.
Oh.
When he was saying, look at this question I cut out when we were waiting for you.
Oh,
All right,
and
here
it's
you go.
and it's obviously from starvation. So yeah,
Yeah, and 5,000 is the answer.
that's
Yep.
insane. All right, cool.
It's nuts, yeah.
All right.
Terrible.
Last question.
Mm-hmm.
What day did the 6th Army surrender to the Red Army?
Jesus Christ, that's a great fucking question,
Okay, so
man.
now closest wins,
Let's do Price is Right rules.
not going over. You can't do prices right rules on a date. So just do closest date wins.
Closest date wins then. Fine.
Closest date wins. So this is Stalingrad.
Correct.
Read the question again for the audience. Fuck!
Oh.
Why did I say that? Now I gave Matt help.
What day did the 6th Army surrender to the Red Army?
All right.
I took this out because I thought it would be too difficult.
Yeah, but it's a good finishing one.
Excuse me.
Yeah, that was rude.
I came out of nowhere.
That's what
Sorry, listeners. Not like I went to sit up and farted. That's worse. You get that extra
What
boost.
date? Jesus Christ.
Read it one more time.
I mean, all right. So
Read it one more time.
can I do some math
go
without
ahead.
like looking it up? All right, because I
No,
need to look
no. You got to do math on your board.
I need to look at a calendar to see how many days are in each month.
No, can't do that.
Why not? Because I know how
Because you
many
can't
days.
look at a calendar.
I know how many days the battle lasted, and I know what date it began.
No,
So-
you're going to have to do it in your head. You can't look at a calendar. That's nonsense.
What day did the 6th Army surrender to the Red Army?
I feel completely screwed here because Matt already knows like what day it started and how many days it ends. All he's got to do is math. And I'm sitting here like, was it 43 or 42?
Don't worry about the year. I'm looking for month and day.
Right.
30, so September, October.
He can hear you.
30,
No, I couldn't hear anything, Matt. Keep whispering. Definitely keep whispering, Matt. That was helpful.
If I can hear you, Matt, George can hear you.
Plus the 23rd.
George, come on.
No, I'm listening
No,
to Matt.
don't listen to Matt.
No, I'm trying to listen to his math.
I'll start putting voiceovers on.
Don't be a dick.
You're
Hold on. I'm going to make a guess here.
8, so. Wait, okay, so.
All right, I got a guess.
Okay, hold on. I just
Take your time, buddy.
Let me tally this up really quick. So 8, so all right, so
You're terrible at that.
Yeah, I'm not usually a bad whistler. That was just not good. I'm usually a good whistler. And just for that, draw my piece.
61.
Pistols at dawn.
I have a sword.
Oh. All right, Brutus.
I'd take the sword over that.
Yeah, but you're closer. Daggers are better close range.
True.
You wouldn't even have room to swing it or draw it. Dum dum.
Dum dum.
Dum dum.
All
All right,
okay,
Matt.
I have an answer.
I bet you do, and I bet it's closer than mine.
All right,
Okay,
Matt,
all right.
let's hear it.
Ready? Show your board.
November 7th.
All right, I said March 3rd.
It's January 31st.
What the fuck?
Fucking win!
Wait a minute.
March 3rd is closer to January 31st than November 7th is.
It's January 31st.
That
February's
sucks.
only 28 days, and I have March 3rd.
Man,
that's 3 days.
boom. That 3-1 question screwed me. And
Hammer down.
never forgive myself. That was crap.
Never.
Come on, Matt. Listen,
Never.
you guys did fantastic.
You feel shame,
You
Matt.
did way better. Like, I was writing these, and I'm like, oh, my God, I don't want to make them too difficult because they'll never get any right.
But then you were like, but I'll make them really vague, so any answer would.
No, that's not true either.
That's okay, buddy. You did good.
Good job.
You did good.
Good job, Scott.
Cheers.
Toast
Great
to
game,
Scott,
George.
Matt. Yeah, you too, buddy.
George is the victor.
Here's to you guys.
Sorry, Matt.
Right on, man. No, right on. Good job.
But you know what this means, Matt?
What's
The
that?
next trivia, you get to host.
Okay.
And right now, we're not going to put you on
Cool.
the spot.
Cool.
But-
Hey, great game, George. I really thought I was going to nail this one in the questions. Like, there's
You
a couple
did.
in there.
You got
There's
14
a couple in,
out of, or 13 out of like 16
the
questions.
Berlin
That's pretty
Berlin
freaking
Wall
good.
one should have been easier for me. And yeah,
Dude,
this is just
I had already
really, really
written
well
something
done.
else down, and then I'm like, wait a minute. Why
Yeah.
would he have said this? Because World War II didn't end with the Germans,
Right.
right? I'm like, no, we still were fighting that Japanese. And then I go, oh, that's right,
Yeah.
Berlin Wall.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's a great way to think about it. Because the Russians were still occupying
Yeah. And they
all
were
of
still.
East Germany and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
The Soviets were like that.
Poland.
That's
And
a
they were
great
still,
way
they
to
were
look
still
at it.
they were still pulling maneuvers on us, like withholding aid from East Germany,
Mm-hmm.
and we had the Berlin airdrop where we flew in supplies and all this kind of stuff. So yeah,
For West Berlin, yeah.
right on, great
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Okay, everybody, thanks for watching.
Yep.
Again, this was Talking Hardcore History Trivia, Episode 3. Go see Ostfront Parts 3 and 4. Thank you, Scott, for making the questions. You did a good job. It's not easy. I hope now you appreciate that it's not easy.
It was easy. It was okay. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me clarify. It was easy to find 21 questions. It was now that I had to read them out loud. It was more difficult on how to word them correctly.
Yes, that's the part that's the harder part.
There you go.
Like there's so much interesting topic that you can find questions. It's just finding questions that are easy you can answer succinctly in a trivia format and not an essay, right? It's tricky.
You guys,
But it was
managed.
fun. No, it was fun. Thanks, Matt. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
thanks for joining us. I really appreciate it, buddy.
Take it easy,
Yeah,
buddy.
Yeah, you bet.